This video, I'm going to talk about how you can overcome the think about it objection. We're going to cover the 3 core ways to get past the think about it objection and deal with something real so that you can close more sales. Because what you're going to learn in this video took me hundreds and hundreds of sales calls to figure out, and I'm going to give it to you short and simple. So the first thing to know about the think about it objection is that 1, think about it is not an objection. Think about it is a cover up for something more. When you hit the end of a call and your counterpart says, I need to think about it, it doesn't mean that they actually have something they need to think about. What it means is that there is something in their mind regarding your product and the commitment they need to make that is not in alignment. And so the most important thing you need to do is get past that to figure out what is not in alignment so you can begin to put the pieces together so they can commit. So first thing, it is not an objection. Second thing, you have to know how to get past it. Now, the way that I like to get past think about it is to have a process in which I use a system of elimination to get to what I'm actually dealing with. The first thing I ask, so your counterpart says,
well, I need to think about it. This sounds good, I need to think about it.
First thing you say is, okay, not a problem. Diffuse, not a problem. Second, well, help me understand, what is it that you feel like you might need to think about? So give them some room to tell you what's on their mind. Oftentimes when you ask that question, it's now going to provoke them to articulate more of what they're thinking about or more of what's going on in their head. The key is understanding and trying to get a sixth sense for where, once again, there is a misalignment between your product and the commitment they need to make. So that way they see it as a commitment they need to make and a commitment they need to make now. So first thing, I need to think about it. Okay, help me understand. What is it you need to think about? Well, I need to think about X. And from there, they will tell you some sort of concern, something that's a little bit more granular, a little bit more detailed, but don't take that as all. What you then need to do is now, once again, process of elimination. I need to now put things aside so that I know that I'm dealing with something that is new and I'm not dealing with something that is basic. And what I mean by that is something that is new is going to be fear or maybe some personal concern or maybe some precise question about the program. But in order to get there, we want to make sure that we're closing all the doors of anything else that they could tell us. So that way it's easy for us to overcome their true concern. So I need to think about it. Okay, what do you need to think about? Well, I need to think about the money. Okay, once they say that, first thing that goes off in my mind is, okay, what I need to close off is value. All right, that makes sense. Now, help me understand, money aside, is there anything that's unclear about the program? The reason why we say this is we want to make sure the value is tied off. The value needs to be tied off because they need to see the program as the solution that's for them. So first thing is there anything that's unclear about the program? Well, no. Okay, and if you tried it, do you feel like it would work? Yes. Boom, value's tied off. Next thing, and aside from the program, the X price, the $2,500 for the program itself, is that something that fits in your budget? The reason why we ask this is because we want to figure out if it's a financing concern. Because one, they said that they need to think about the money, but we don't know what that means. What is it about the money they need to think about? Is it the price? Is it how they're going to pay for it? Is it how much money they're spending? Do they feel like the money's worth the value? Something around the price, there's a misalignment. So what I'm going to do, take value off the table. Okay, I see the value in what you do. Now we need to figure out what they can afford. The reason why is because when we get to the root cause, when we overcome the actual concern itself, we need to know what commitment they can make. And what I mean by that is what they are going to pay. Once the boxes tick and you get that alignment, how much are they going to spend? And the reason why we must figure this out first is because if you then hit the end of the call where you solve all the problems and they then need to think about what they need to pay, they're going to be so emotionally drained that they're not going to be able to give you a figure and they will leave the call. So I need to think about it. Okay, what do you need to think about? I need to think about the money. Okay, that's not a problem. Now help me understand, is there anything that's unclear about the program? No. If you try it, do you feel like it would work? Yes. All right. And aside from the program, the $2,500 itself, is that something that can fit in your budget? Yes. Okay. Move on. If they say no, take some time to figure out, okay, what could they pay? All right. So if you can afford the program and you see the value, the only thing that's left is for you to take action. So I guess for you, what's keeping you from making that commitment to making it happen? And that's when they'll tell you the real concern, which is it's just a lot of money to be spent, or I'm afraid of spending that amount of money, or this is just a lot, it's happening so quickly, or I'm just not sure. They'll have some sort of uncertainty, and now what you're dealing with is fear. Fear is its own monster and it's its own objection. I don't have enough time in this video to be able to cover it all, but in this video, what I want to give you is clarity on how you can overcome the think about it. So one more time from the top, I need to think about it. Okay, what do you need to think about? I need to think about X. Okay, X aside, is there anything unclear about the program? No. If you tried it, do you feel like it would work? Yes. Okay, and aside from the program, does X price fit in your budget? Yes. Okay, now if you see the value in what we do and you can afford it, what's keeping you from committing and getting result that we talked about? Well, it's this. And now, my friend, you have figured out the actual objection. And if you want to learn more about how to overcome fear, I'm going to cover that in this video right here. And if you want some one-to-one coaching with me where we can practice this live, we can practice it with other sales savages that I've trained, go ahead and click the link down below to join the Persuasion Academy and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this.